Lifestyle here. God. Greetings to you, family. Greetings to you. It's been quite some time since I've been up here, at least to do a live. I've been posting sporadically when I get a chance or I feel motivated to post. But tonight I wanted to talk about liar, liar, pants on fire. I recently had and I'm gonna leave her name out of this because her name don't matter. But I recently just had a client today. A client from back in the day hit me up and asking if I was okay and everything. Um, and I played it smart, I believe, because it was just strange, right? And so when strange things like that happen, you got to kind of play it strategic. And so I called the young lady because she never responded back in text when I hit her up after she hit me up looking for me to see if I was doing well or okay or whatever. She was just trying to gather information for whoever she works for or is in collaboration with. But this person, we was catching up a little bit because I'm trying to see like, why did you want to catch up with me? We had a client, we had a business relationship. Um, but it just goes to show like, I've never been romantic with this young lady, nor have I ever tried to be romantic with her. No, I've never tried to holler at her or anything. I never even picked up the phone to be like, yo, you want to hang out and chill? No. She used to come to the house when I lived in DC, and she would grab, business relationship, and she would go about her business. Like we might catch up about some things. You know how people do when you're clients. It's not like you're friends, but your acquaintances. I've delivered to her multiple times to where she used to live at and all that. But she just was being real far-fetched with some of the stuff she was saying. And somehow she found out that, where I used to live and some of my old whereabouts. Not that I'm from those places, it's just by circumstance throughout life, I lived there. You know what I mean? And so I'm like, how did you know that? Because I don't remember ever talking to you about that. She even said that I called her one day crying or spilling my guts about purpose and life and stuff like that. And I was just like, nah, not you. No, 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 no. I would never, we and her never had that kind of relationship. And I'm doing this cast right now because, there has to be evidence laid out for future reference when folks, because this is the thing, folks, people get to lying and people get to believe in people who lying that don't know anything about anything, right? And this is a young lady that she this is just a young lady who I wouldn't expect that type of behavior from, right? Like I said, it's been some years since I've talked to this young lady. It's been some years, like, and I'm just like, wow, why out of the blue would you hit me up? So she has information, right? She knows some things. Obviously, she doesn't want to reveal what those things are, but she's trying to gather more information. Um, and that's what the conversation was like. That's what it felt like. And anytime you have somebody who wants to talk over to you while you're talking, or they're just continuously talking and you're speaking, even though you've cleared the stage, even though it's clearly that it's your turn to talk, if y'all are passing back and forth the talking stick, if you will. But I had to fall back because I was just like, yo, this is some of the stuff she's saying is just not true. And how would you know some of the things that you're saying anyways, right? Like, how would you know that? Right? How would you know that if you wasn't getting information from somebody who might be my enemy? Hey, what's going on, Dimitri? Thanks for joining in. I'm just going through something I went through just because I like to keep evidence, not only for myself to look back at, but just for future reference, just in case somebody try to pop up with this, that, and the other. And, a lot of the times, what I want to also get into really quickly is right now we live in the stage of wicked. Why do I say Wicked? Well, if you haven't seen the new Wicked movie, which I thought it was going to be perverse, I'm doing well. Thank you for asking. I thought the movie Wicked was going to be perverse and, like, just be about women being wicked, or specifically like about black women, because the actress that's the Wicked Witch, she's a black woman. She's an African woman. And so, but it was about how people in power turn powerful people into villains. And I was like, yo, this is crazy, because she was a cool person. She was a cool person. The Wicked lady. She was a cool person. Like, it wasn't nothing wrong with her. She just came out green. And see, I don't want to tell the whole movie, but what I will say is that she was marked, right? From some things that her mom was doing, right? I appreciate that, Dimitri. I appreciate that. From some things that her mom was doing, right? She was doing the nasty, cheating on her husband. And so she had a baby, right? She got pregnant. And so that baby was marked from the sin of her parent. And she was hated by her, not biological father, but, the father that her mom was actually married to, right? She was hated. And so I just thought it to be interesting that, we live in an era where people are trying to turn good people into wicked people by just saying, oh, this person's wicked, and just lying and just saying anything. And because we don't have a lot of discernment in our current communities, there's people aren't discerning and saying, let me find out if that's true or not, right? They're not saying that. They just go on with the whatever people think or whatever. You know what I mean? And even now, I had 12 people in here on the live. It's only one person now, which is fine. But it was just weird. It's weird a little bit because I don't really be doing lives. I don't really be having people, So I'm like, oh, why all these people all of a sudden? Because I got weirdos, not you, Dimitri, or anybody else who's genuine. But I got weirdos following me, trying to either make content off of my content, which that's going on too on the YouTube. Like, a lot of people aren't original. They gotta go, they gotta, play somebody else's video and then pause it, break down what this person is saying type thing, right? Because they just don't have the ingenuity or the creativity to do their own content and be original. So they got to go, you know what? And YouTube allows this type of stuff. I don't even understand, but I feel like in the future, some people are going to get sued for that because, yo, why do you get to review my content? That's not educational. Ain't nothing educational about reviewing somebody's content just to kind of put them down or to get other people to look at them in like a way. You feel what I'm saying, right? Because, a lot of times people are really jealous and envious of you. You out there, whoever's watching or whoever was watching, people are jealous and envious of you about your powers and your skills and your abilities. And they'll assassinate you and then turn around and say the same things that you was saying to make themselves sound smarter or like, to the 10th degree. And it's like, whoa, bro, you don't have no creativity. You don't have no originality and nothing. You feel me? So, but with this young lady, like, more power to her. But like I told her, like, yo, if you lie on me again about whatever you're talking about, because I'm telling you that's a lie, it's a lie. I've never tried to holler at you, ever. Never tried to be romantic with you, ever. Our relationship was always on a business client relationship type deal. But the way she was trying to convey things, I'm just like, yo, nah, bro, that's not even true. And I'm not able to pull evidence, right? Like, who record, that's why I record things now, right? Because who records physical evidence of your interactions with people, not knowing, because you don't know that in the future people are going to try to flip on you or try to say this and that, and you like, huh? What? take the what and lead the what? No, 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 no. We not doing that. So, I had to decline the young lady's statements that she said. And it wasn't nothing crazy. It was just, I've never called her to pour my heart out. I never almost cried about anything. Not with her, anyways. You feel what I'm saying? Of course, we have our people that we associate with and we gather around, but not with her. Hell no. Number one. Number two, um, when I met this young lady, it was during COVID and she was a client. So she was trying to find people to um get hooked up with at the time. You feel me? And I get it. But I never had that kind of relationship with her. Yeah, we, like I said, we would associate and be acquaintances and we would talk about things, but it was never that deep. I think one time I actually hung out with her at her house and her roommate, who was another female, and we got high. And I definitely didn't stay that long. But I personally believe the young lady is not working with me, meaning that she's not somebody that is really my friend or really cares about me, right? She might be an operative, the ops. If you feel me? Because what a lot of times people do is they pretend to be your friend or whatever just to get information so that they can report back to others. And then you got these people nowadays, they'll pay you for information, and people don't care about people. They'll sell them out for a couple dollars. You feel me? So I know this person don't actually care about me. I haven't talked to this person in years. It's definitely been at least 2 years. And she's like, oh, it's only been a year. I'm like, ma'am, I haven't been in operation, meaning my old business, for at least almost 3 years now. It's coming up because we're almost in 2025. You know what I'm saying? Literally, we're at the end of the month, it'll be 2025. You feel what I'm saying? So I'm like, ma'am, some of the things that you're saying. And so I just had to, and again, whenever somebody's trying to talk over you while you're talking, you know that somebody has an issue, right? They got issues with themselves. They have some type of personality trait issues. You know what I mean? And there's nothing wrong with that. It's just that how can we have a civil conversation and get down to the nitty gritty since you're saying these things and you're talking over me literally while I'm talking, just having a whole conversation while I'm talking to you. And it was my turn to speak. So, it's just weird, but nothing's weird when it comes down to the Most High. See, the Most High is revealing things low key. He is showing me the enemy little by little, even if this person is not my main direct enemy. And that's cool. That's great. But what I'm not going to do is I'm not going to let you lie about some things uh, to me, about me. And I have a really good sense of memory. And I think that's why a lot of people are mad at me, because my memory is so sharp. And I record things down just to make sure that I'm on point. I'm not perfect. None of us is perfect. But a lot of things she was saying, I'm just like, nah, that's far from the truth. And I was actually dealing with the young lady while this person was a client of mine. And even after I moved out of that house and everything, I was still trying to pull the business together. But the Lord wants me to do different things. And so I went in a unknown direction, you know what I mean? Because the Lord wants me to do some different things with my life. But this person, was supposed to be a Christian, man. And that's what kills me, is that a lot of these Christian folks who go to church and say that they're Christians and stuff like that, they really wicked themselves. They really are. And I ain't on that type of time. Like, that's why I call myself a child of God, which that's what the Bible calls us, children of God. It doesn't call us Christians. That's a Roman thing that they called people who believed in the Most High, which Daniel used to refer to God, the Most High God. You know, I'm not going to try to chastise anybody or come down on anybody. I'll just say that a lot of Christians be moving weird and that they're going to be under judgment eventually for how they move, right? And for how they judge. Because the same person, Christian, who says that Jesus this, Jesus that, will turn around and judge you. Will turn around and, you know, act like you're this and you're that, and I'm this and I'm that because I'm Christian, I go to church, or I believe in Jesus and this and that. But, you know, Jesus said a lot of things. And I think that the Christian church is just a little bit more focused on things that are outside of what Jesus said. That's just my personal opinion. But whoever's talking to this young lady, telling her about my whereabouts or whatever, you got your time coming to you. Whoever you are out there, the enemy that's trying to make everybody think that I'm the villain, or the enemy that's going through my content, or whatever it is that the person is out there doing. You know, the Lord has been showing me things. I'm just waiting for the right time. I'm being patient, right, when it comes to the Most High God, which Daniel refers to God as the Most High. Okay. I'm being patient because the Lord has already showed me what is to come. He already showed me what was going to happen to me. So I already knew things was going to happen to me before they happened. And then, you know, when you go through them, it's like, but I already knew these things was going to happen. Like, I literally already knew, because I had these dreams. I've had many dreams. And I just want to give praise to the Most High God, you know, because although these things are tough to deal with, the Lord told me that this would be your last time having to go through these such things, and that at the end of this, that I would be lifted back up beyond. You know, he's gonna put me back where I'm supposed to be. But you know, nothing against the young lady, more power to you. But like I had to tell her, like, look, if you continue talking about me, and I'll find out. I have my ways of finding out. I'll find out. If you're talking about me, lying about me, about certain things, some of the things she was saying was just cold lies. They just did not happen. And so, you know, I told her I'm going to have to file a lawsuit for defamation against you. You know, because I don't go looking for people that I don't talk to anymore. If I don't talk to you, I don't talk to you. It is what it is. Bygones is bygones, whatever. You know, you're going to say whatever you got to say about me. You know, what can I really do about that? Especially if you don't want to challenge me in a debate over the facts, right? Also, another thing with people reaching out from the past and all that, you got to worry about entrapment, right? What people try to do is they try to lead you down a path, right? That, like, why would I ever go against myself? You see, a lot of people, and I'm a Capricorn, a lot of people think that Capricorn self-sabotage themselves when we really are just trying to protect ourselves, right? But we care about ourselves, so why would we self-sabotage ourselves? And that's what I was going back full circle to the movie Wicked. That's what people do. Like, they try to put these negative thoughts into your mind. They try to put this negative energy, and then you know what you do with those types of people? You just hang up on them and block them. And if they're in your personal space, if they're like in actual reality, you just walk away from those people, man, because only God can touch those people's hearts and change them. You know, it's not for me to change. But what I will say is I'm going to defend myself at every last step of the way. Like, the Lord always tells me to defend myself and stand up for me. And I do, and I win. And I do, and I win. And the problem is with me winning is the enemy was like, yo, I thought I had you defeated. No. You see, I'm a real child of God. I'm not perfect. And as I go through, excuse me, I'm trying to find the word of what's it's called. As I go through man, it's a long word. It's not really a long word, but it sounds like a big word. Consecration. Thank you, Lord. Thank you. As I go through consecration, I'm not going to be perfect, right? It's like a training thing. You consecrate yourself. You stop doing things, but then you fall back, right? Because you're not perfect, right? And you fall back into some of the things, but that doesn't mean that you can't get back up and get back to consecration. See, a lot of times people out there will be like, oh, I thought you don't do this and I thought you don't do that. Instead of saying, see, this is what the real children of God would say, like, I know you working on yourself. You know, I'm here to encourage you. You don't need to smoke that cigarette. You're supposed to be consecrating. You don't need to fall in the old ways, your old habits. Let me pick you up, my brother. You know, let me pick you up, my sister. See, those are real children of God. If they're not acting like that, they're not children of God. They don't care about you. But it's crazy because somebody who is my friend, hopefully, I'm praying on it. You know, I posted something on my social media and this person was like, you know, you're not alone. Like, people try to villainize people all the time. You know, even this particular person, they was like, yeah, you know, people try to villainize me. And I was like, yo, that's crazy. And this person's the same, they're a Capricorn like me. And I was just like, wow, so I'm not the only one that goes through this. It's good to know, you know. When I came out with my channel, Lifestyle Child of God, I came out with it for multiple reasons, but really because the Lord told me to do this. But I also came out to tell the truth about what's really going on with me, you know, because a lot of people put things on me that's not me because they're just jealous, bro. And they're real cowards, you know. Cowardly people won't conflict. What they'll do is they'll talk about you in front of your face and then act like they didn't say anything. And when you try to have a conversation with them, they'll decline, you know. And I met a guy, I don't want to say how I met this person, but, you know, I had a conversation with him. And it was a tough conversation, being that it could have led to some conflict. But, you know, I have to honor this guy because as a man, he honored what I asked him as a man. And he had a conversation with me. Now, the other cats that's running amok, trying to make me feel some kind of way or trying to push me out, if you will, or trying to bully me, low key, yeah, I confronted them and they buckled. You know, they buckle. So at least the guy that I conflicted with, at least he had a conversation with me. At least he honored what I asked him. Because to be honest with you, I ain't never done nothing wrong to the dude. So he had no reason really to come at me the way he's coming at me, right? He was only doing it because he's being pressured by other people, peer pressure. But I dealt with those other people too. You feel me? But that's what it is. When people don't like you because they don't like themselves, they'll come after you. When people don't like you because you're different and you act different and you really push forth a good nature, they're going to come after you because they don't know how to be like you. They weren't trained like that. See, the world doesn't work that way, is what they're going to tell you. But you got to be a trailblazer out there, family. You got to start doing things different. You got to mix it up. And I don't mean mix up good and bad. What I mean is mix it up like, yo, go from with the way the world works and go to the way that God wants the world to work. Are you feeling me? But I just had to shut this person down because, yo, number one, why are you reaching out? We have a client basis relationship. We were never romantic, number one. Number two, you was throwing me off when I was seeing you as a client. You was throwing me off, and that's why I distanced myself from you, because I honestly felt like the young lady was trying to set me up at some point, which I'm gonna keep that information to myself for the time being. But And I don't mean like set up with police. I mean like trying to get something taken away from me, right? Because, and this is what Tariq talks about, because, and nothing against my African people. The young lady I'm speaking about is African, but nothing against my African people. Like, African people are some wonderful people, are some great people, and have looked out for me a bunch of times. And I hope that I have or can look out for them in either in the future, or or maybe I have in the past, maybe. But a lot of these African cats are low-key jealous too. And this is what Tariq Nasheed be talking about. See, foundational black Americans don't do that to other foundational black Americans. We're not trying to undercut each other. We're getting on code. And not only are we getting on code, we're moving in unison. I don't believe in delineation, meaning I know that my DNA traces back to Nigeria, to Mali, to some other African countries, right? That's where the origins of my DNA started. How could I ever deny that? I would never. I also have Indian in my blood, Native American Indian, Taino and Choctaw, I think that's what it's called, out of Georgia. Why would I deny that? I'm not directly connected to the culture of my African lineage or my Native American lineage, but I am and will never deny that that blood runs through my veins, right? But this is why people in the black community, in the FBA community, ADOS, whatever, folks are delineating. Because, African people, I don't know what it is, man. And it's not all of y'all. It's not even the majority. Y'all have this stigmatization about how y'all feel about black Americans. And that's fine. A lot of that comes from propaganda. But, I'm not going to sit here and I'm not even going to use those words that Tariq be using, because I honor my African people. Like, I have a lot of African friends and a lot of African family, and I honor them. I would never call them out of their names or try to humiliate them, even though that's part of black culture, right? But that's just not my style, right? That's not me. So I would never do that. But yeah, this young lady, my discernment was picking up not good energy. Not that she's not a good person, but it's possible that the energy she was putting out wasn't good for me to be around. And the Lord was trying to show me, like, your instincts are correct. Not just about this person, but about some things that me and the Lord have been conversing over. And yeah, man, I just never had that kind of relationship with the young lady. Never been romantic with her. She tried to insinuate something like that, like I tried to holler at her. Never. She was a client. And to be quite honest with you, like I said, I was dating somebody when I first met her, but I'm not attracted to the young lady. Nothing against her looks. I'm personally not attracted to the young lady. She was a client, and I respected our client relationship, business client relationship. Like, I respected that. But when you call somebody or text somebody out the blue, and it's been some years, like, hey, you okay? You obviously know something or have heard something. And like I said, she was trying to say that, she didn't try to say, she said, I found out that you used to live in Virginia. How did you find that out, ma'am? Who you speaking with? And why are y'all speaking about where I would be at? My daughter lives in Virginia. Mostly everybody knows that, but like, she was calling me aunt. And see, she don't know, she about to get herself in trouble because she just doesn't know some things that's going on. And see, when you call me aunt, you're putting yourself into, even though she doesn't know this, but you're putting yourself into a situation that could get you into trouble. Because number one, nobody has ever called me aunt in the history of me being on this green earth. Nobody ever called me aunt. I might have had somebody one time, possibly two times, but that's for sure. And that had to have been ages ago. But nobody calls me aunt. And she kept trying to call me aunt and all this stuff, like that's like we have that kind of relationship, and nobody calls me aunt. Either call me by my first name, they either do, which, you know, that name has become a burden simply because of the mathematics, the numerology around it. Also, you know, I just didn't feel any value from that name because of the history of how I was given the name. But nobody has ever called me aunt, and she was using this word aunt. Again, there's some other things going on where there was somebody who was trying to, you know, I don't want to say too much, but somebody was trying to do some things and they were using that. And I'm like, yo, I'm about to connect two and two, you know what I mean? But I'm gonna let the Lord do it. All I gotta do is stand up for myself and be like, yo, I don't have to put up with this, and this is not true. And it wasn't true. It just wasn't. Some of the things she was saying just wasn't true. Why would I ever call her and pull my heart out? We talked about some things. We talked about some religious things, but I talk about religion with everybody. I talk about politics with everybody. I talk about a lot of things with everybody. It's not just her. So when she was like, "Oh, I was almost crying," I'm like, "Nah, that don't even seem or sound right," because I have deep conversations with other people, and I've never almost cried. Maybe crying as in complaining, and she might have been saying it like that, but she was saying it like tears, and I was like, "No, that's no. We've never had that kind of conversation. We've never been on the phone for hours long. None of that. She came to the house and we kicked it on some client business relationship, and we talked about some things, and then she kept it pushing and I kept it pushing. Like, it just wasn't that way. And like I said, the young lady that I was dating, I was actually fond of her. The young lady I was dating at the time, I was very fond of. And, you know, I think I have a testimony on here on my content where I got the young lady pregnant. We got each other pregnant. I don't want to just take all the blame, but you know, and it was very sentimental for me to have to go through what we went through. Like, I didn't want to have to go through that. I didn't want to lose that child, and you know, I liked the young lady. I mean, I did. So it is what it is, and she liked me a lot too, regardless of what she might say. Trust me, I know these things, you know. But what I'm not gonna do is I'm just not gonna let people try to bash me in front of me. You feel what I'm saying? And I can't control what you say to other people. I can stand up for myself, but sometimes 9 times out of 10, it ain't even worth it. You know, those things are gonna come back and bite them in the ass later. You know, but I just wanted to put this out because I need some evidence for me about what happened. But I also need to let you guys know, like, yo, protect your energy. Be careful around who's around you and in your circle. Like, I don't got no friends right now. I'm cool with that because I know who I can trust and who I can't. And you know, working where I work at now, that's one of the first things you learn is that everybody you work here with ain't nobody your friend. Ain't nobody your friend. And it's really like that. Like, I'm sure people are friends, but I mean, I ain't got no friends like that. And it's actually better. I'm safer that way. You feel what I'm saying? I'm safer that way because people out here undercutting each other, killing each other, and they so-called friends. You feel what I'm saying? So ain't no way I'm about to let you say some of the things that you were saying. It's just not true. And I was calling her out. I was like, yeah, that's not true at all. It's just not. And I don't know if she was recording that phone call or not, but I'm confident that I stood up for myself in the best manner, and that I did what I needed to do. Once I felt, especially when you talking over me, I wasn't talking over you, you were talking over me. And so when that stuff starts to happen, it's like, oh yeah, this person is making up stuff, or they're trying to feel confident about, they want to get into an argument or a debate with me, but like, why? When you really care about somebody and you're worried about their well-being, you're not trying to argue or get in a debate with them. You feel what I'm saying? So that's how I knew, like, my discernment was like, yo, hang up the phone and block this person. And the fact of the matter is, which is crazy, it's crazy, family, is that this person actually has been blocked before. And I'm trying to figure out how they got unblocked. I'm trying to figure it out because I'm just like, yo, this is crazy. Like, I haven't talked to you in a dumb long time. It's been over 2 years, for sure. It's been over 2 years because I believe the last time I even seen that person was 2022. Because I wasn't in 2023, I was on the decline of the business, and I wasn't even mixing it up. Like, I was trying to keep whatever regulars was hitting me. I was trying to maintain, trying to keep my daughter, and I was traveling a lot. Like, I was gone out of state and all that, trying to, just find a new thing for me, find where God wants to take me. So, family, don't let nobody take over your energy. Don't let anybody try to punish you. If they want to talk about something, have them talk about it, and we put it in correct terms, and we could talk about it civilly. But I'm not giving in, and that's why I don't need friends like that. You know what I mean? I don't need friends like that. I need friends that want to have civil conversations, go back and forth, but actually care about me because I care about them. I go above and beyond when I'm your friend. You know what I mean? Like, and right now I'm in a position where I don't have a lot of friends. I have people that I consider as more of like family, right? I have people who I consider more of like family, but I don't speak to them that often. But they've been helping me out through my re-rise to where I'm supposed to be. Hey, Dimitri, I don't know what you put, but you don't got to redact any messages around here. You know what I mean? You can just say what you got to say, and we can have a conversation about it. I don't know how to join you in, but I could just add you in, and we could just conversate about it. But again, I appreciate your sub, and I appreciate your following the channel. All my content is not always it might throw you off. Like, it might be like, man, he was consistent a little bit, but then he like just, because I like to talk about things that go on with me, as you should too, right? Because the thing is like, you gotta have conversations with yourself, people. You do. And what people try to do still to this day in 2025, people try to make you seem crazy for listening to yourself. And it's like, I'm myself. I have to deal with me every day. I gotta process things. Like, this is what people do. This is what people should be doing. It shouldn't be far-fetched for you to analyze yourself. It's called being self-reflective. You know what I mean? I don't know if that's the technical phrase or whatever, but I'm reflecting on myself. And I go through my videos and watch them all the time and be like, where was I at during that time? Like, mentally, like, what was really going on? And I go back in my memory bank, and I'm like, okay, you know what I mean? And I've grown a lot. That's how I check my growth. I give myself, but like I said, my psychiatrist said, and I've had multiple ones, it's good for me to do my YouTubes and talk about whatever I need to talk about, right? Because that's how you solve your issues. You go to these psychiatrists and you pay for psychology and all these things to happen, but it doesn't really help you in the long run. And when I talk to some of these psychologists, You know, they say a lot of people, they don't really get the help that they need. You know, they talk to us, but they're not really dealing with the issues. You know, they're just paying to talk to somebody because that's what people told them to do. But you really got to deal with your internal self. Oh, Dimitri, you know, I really hope that you're an honest subscriber, and I appreciate the love. Thank you so much. You know what I mean? I'm hoping to, speaking of Dimitri, I'm hoping to gain enough followers and to hopefully be a good leader that people can count on and trust in. There's a lot of things going on right now, family. There's a lot of things going on. You know, the CEO of United Healthcare just got assassinated. You know, that's crazy what happened to the CEO of United Healthcare. Just got assassinated. Like, that's what I'm trying to tell you, family. Like, you got to, you got to. As a brother used to, as a brother who has a YouTube, as Hassan Campbell would say, pay attention to your circle before they hurt you. Like, that's why I don't have no circle. And even man, I'm hoping my day gets better. I'm just waiting for my paycheck. You know what I mean? Once that paycheck drop, I can go pay some bills, and I could go take care of my kid. You know what I mean? Because it's cold outside. I got to get her some winter clothes, and I think that's really what I've been focusing on more of lately. Like, just trying to make sure my kid is good, because she's getting older. I'm getting older. I still feel the same. Still look the same. Still looking young. Getting stronger though, but my kid, yo, is like, it's like constant frustration, and it's constant patience, and it's like, I don't know how I'm gonna get through this. You know, pray to the Lord. I just pray to the Lord. I'm like, Lord, I need your help. Make her behave, Lord. Make her behave, Lord. I don't know what else to say. You know, Lord, help me to understand what she's going through. Lord, forgive my genetic line. Lord, forgive me and the things that I used to say. Not understanding, right? Because of the things I was going through, and I was expressing myself, you know what I mean? And some people might be like, oh, that's negative. And it's like, yeah, you know, it's really important on how you grow up and who grows you up. It's really important on how you grow up and who grows you up. And I just want to encourage everybody out there, if you have children, prophesy over their lives, spread hands over them and prophesy good things. Let them hear you prophesy, because children remember things, man. And the things that you put into them, it will play out. Whether it be negative things or positive things, those things that you put into your children, it's going to play out. They already have a tough time dealing with other children and those other children's, you know, insecurities or whatever it is, right? But we really got to put into our children, man, because you got to prophesy over them. You got to put nothing but the most positive things in them. And it's a tough time. It's a tough time. It's only a tough time because I have a kid, right? And I want to be the best dad I can be. Not just because I didn't have a dad, but just because yeah, family is important if you got real family, because all family ain't family. Even your blood. It's unfortunate. We live in a special time. We live in a special time where you're seeing the collapse little by little. We're not at the great collapse, but you're seeing the collapse, right, of society because of the norm, what has been normalized that shouldn't be normalized. So you're seeing the collapse, and you got to be careful with family just as well as you got to be careful with so-called quote unquote on friends. And I don't have a lot of friends. I have some people that I call family that have been looking out, and I'm grateful for them. And they already know once I'm where the Lord wants me to be, we're going to be giving that same energy back. We're going to be giving that same energy back because I love to give, man. I love to give. It's one of my gifts. Exhortation, I believe that's what it's called in the Bible. I love to give. I like to give. I just do. I like to do for people. Um, but working at this job that I'm working at, using my gifts at this job is just, they haven't been appreciative of me being giving or me being my authentic self, because somebody out here lying, trying to say that that's not his authentic self, and that's just not true. I don't know what's being said, so I can't debate it. But what I would say is this: keep doing you. Keep doing what you're doing. Like, the Lord will deal with you in his timing. I'm going through a lot, but the Lord also told me that he also showed me again, like I said before, he already showed me that I was going to go through these things before they happened, years before they happened. He showed me these things. And I was like, yo, the Lord is crazy. The Lord, and even myself, that's how you know that the Lord and even myself, I care about me. And the Lord cares about me because he shows me these things. You know what I mean? And he already showed me that he's going to put me, I'll just say that he's going to put me. Yeah. So, I'm waiting for those days, man. I'm still putting in work on the podcast, just not as much. There's a lot of things going on, a lot of people doing the same type of content, and I just been working, man. Like, working is work. You be tired. You be tired. And with the kid, I'm just trying to get her to be more responsible with the kid. I want her to be more responsible. I want her to know, I want her to be good. Like, I want her to know how to look for a job and all that type of stuff. Like, I taught myself how to do a lot of things, even when I was under the guardianship of my mother. I taught myself how to do a lot of things, you know what I mean? And so I don't want my daughter to have to teach herself how to do things. I just want it to be good for her. Like, I just want it not necessarily to be easy, but I want her to be able to move throughout life, have fun. I don't want her to be ruining her life or things of that nature, because decisions are very important, but you got to have the right information to make good decisions. I'm famous, but I'm not famous in a good way right now. I'm gonna be honest with you, Dimitri. Like, right now I'm going through the villainization. I'm going through the villainization right now. People have made me famous, but they're villainized me to where anywhere I go, people look at me this way, they look at me that way. And a lot of this might come from when I lived in DC. And I made some mistakes, specifically about the people I chose to interact with, right? But I just think that, people look at people trying to protect themselves and make good decisions so that they don't get locked up as cowards. And we shouldn't look at those people as cowards. We should look at those people as normal, everyday, honorable people, because it's hard to move around society. Some people sacrifice their lives to be GTA characters, you know what I mean? Like, it's like why you gotta do all this stuff, you know what I mean? But what I say, Dimitri, and I appreciate all the good things that you've been saying, and I hope that you're a good person. Pray for me. Instead of saying, I hope you get famous, or I love to stream these things and that things, pray to the Most High, and I pray that the Most High protects me from certain prayers as well. But pray to the Most High that he bless not only me, but you, not only me and you, but others, and that he lift up. Pray to the Most High that, you know what I mean? But you got to protect yourselves out here, because people just be lying on you. People just be lying on you. And then the problem with lies that we tell on people is that you can get people killed, man. Like, yo, you can get somebody unalive by lying. We watch, let's see, we watch Power. We watch, what's the show with the young man who was selling drugs in LA? The old school show. I can't remember the name of it. Dark skinned brother. He was dating Lori Harvey. He was the last person to date Lori Harvey. He has a show when he was, you know, when crack first hit LA. Power. We watch Power. We watch these type of shows, right? And they constantly show you how people manipulate, people lie, scheme, and plot on people who, whether they be good or not good people, they're looked at as competition. They're looked at as the enemy by the enemy, and so they have to be removed, right? So people connive and do all these different things to get people out the way. You feel what I'm saying? So I just want to say I appreciate all 14 people that joined the live at one time. Never had that happen, so I'm grateful. I'll try to do more lives. I just want to say thank you to all my subscribers, all 189 subscribers. It's taken a while to get there because, you know, I want the full effect of what people did before YouTube was paying people and all this, you know, craziness is going on with YouTube. I want to grow mine naturally and authentically, and I want people to follow me authentically, you know, and I want people to forgive me for some of the things I might say, feel, or whatever, because that's what being a child of God is. But, you know, re-educate me. Let's converse. Let's converse about my opinion about what you don't like about my opinion on whatever subject matter, you know, but that's bravery. You feel what I'm saying? So a lot of people not going to do that because they don't want to lose the battle. They want to win. So just be careful of people, man. People are not necessarily good these days, and they look to vilify others. They look to present information without full context, right? It's like pulling from the Bible without reading the whole chapter, right? We don't give you the full context, but we're gonna pull out this line, this verse, and create hour-long sermons off one verse, right? Without the full context. Nothing against Christian folks, man. I'm just saying, like, y'all, in Revelations, the Lord specifically talked about y'all and how wicked y'all was. And some of the things that y'all doing that's just not good. You figure me? So thanks for joining me. I'm grateful. This was an hour long. I was not expecting to go this long, and I kind of rambled through it. But just be careful about people, man, and don't let people try to assassinate your character. Don't let them pop up out the blue, like, you know what I mean? And don't let them act like you cool like that. Like, I just was giving you information. Nah, I would never do that. I never did that. I'm an open person, but yeah, I definitely ain't never poured my heart out to where I was about to cry about nothing with that particular person. Some family members I consider family that you know, we could say that. But pay attention to your circle before they hurt you. Is what Hassan would say. You got to do it. People are wicked out here, man. All right. Lifestyle here. Child of God. See y'all in the next live. I'll do more.